Kativik first cycle exams are given in 3 parts. First, there's the Competency 1 Practical Lab Exam, which is worth 40% of a student's final exam mark. The second part is the Competency 2 Theoretical Situation Exam, also worth 40%. And finally, the Essential Knowledge Exam is worth 20% of a student's final exam mark. As mentioned before, the C1 practical exam will be worth 40%. You'll have a choice of 2 experiments or activities. Each one of them comes in a regular or an adapted version. You can see that the adapted version has less text. The questions and activities are somewhat easier, or they might have some hints to assist students. To ensure fairness, the adapted exam is worth a maximum of 80% compared to the regular exam. This option gives students who are struggling a better chance for success. There's a teacher guide available for each practical exam, which also includes information and evaluation grids that you'll need for the rest of the final exam. The C2 theoretical portion of the exam is worth 40%. As with the practical exams, you'll have a choice of 2 situations. Each of them comes in a regular or adapted version. Within this portion of the exam, there'll be a selection of certain questions. You should select and instruct students which questions will be used for their exam. Again, the adapted version is worth a maximum of 80%. Each situation, both regular and adapted, have matching answer booklets. The essential knowledge portion of the exam is worth 20%. It also comes in a regular or adapted version. Within this portion of the exam, you can choose 10 from 15 questions, each worth 2 points. The adapted version is worth a maximum of 80%. And again, there are matching answer keys for the regular and adapted essential knowledge exam. All the exams, answer keys, and guides can be found on the DB server. The student booklets and teacher guides have straightforward evaluation tools, just like those that you find in the rest of the program. The practical C1 part of the exam and the theoretical C2 part of the exam have individual student marking grids. The essential knowledge part of the exam is marked out of 20 points. 10 questions, 2 points each. If you use the adapted essential knowledge exam, simply mark the questions out of 20 points, and then multiply the total by 0.8. In the teacher guide, you'll find a class evaluation grid to calculate the summative final exam marks for your students. The Cycle 1 science exams offer teachers a lot of flexibility. You can choose regular or adapted version of the exam for all 3 portions of the exam, or you could mix the versions. You could give the same version of the exams to all of your students, or you can differentiate the version of the exam for individual students to accommodate their specific strengths or limitations. Remember that the general weighting is 20% for Term 1, 30% for Term 2, 30% for Term 3, and the final exam is worth 20% of a student's overall marks.